How you guys doing? Let's do it to it. Alright. Nothing there. Perfect. Nothing. Let's see what we got here. Perfecto mundo. Okay. Let's refresh. And start into our puzzle battle. Okay. Finish this puzzle off with checkmate. Let's see, how do we finish this off with checkmate? Let us see, let us see. Excellent. Okay. Um, hmm. I want to play H4 or H5, but then pawn takes. Then there's taking, and then I don't think if it intercepts, then it might actually. This might actually work here. Here, takes, over, checkmate. Yep, this is it. There we go. Beautiful. So we're at 310. Kaboom! Wow, wow, wow. That's a lot of points. That'll put a lot of distance. Let's see if we can't get a 15 to 20,000 ahead. Maybe we'll try it. We'll try to get 5. We'll see if we can get 7. But we're gonna shoot for 15 if we can. My king is in trouble. Find a way to attack. So we have to find a way to attack the king. So let's see here. I'm trying to see if rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. Sorry, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, king takes. Oh, darn. It's too bad we don't have here because of this rook. That's a bummer. Well, maybe we can actually play bishop takes, and after bishop takes, rook g3. That might be an idea too. And if he tries to like do something like that, we still have mate. There's no way to stop it. Yeah, let's hammer that home. And then we'll push this pawn up here. We'll win the queen. Yay! And we're still going to eventually checkmate our opponent with a checkmate idea. Hooray, hooray. We got to do this thing. Okay. Let's see. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win material. Do you see the critical position that we can win material on? Yeah, do you? Where is that? I was thinking maybe knight here, And after rook takes, knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes. That might be an idea. But I'm just thinking, can the queen move anywhere? Maybe the queen, if we move here, the queen can come here, but then the knight takes. And if we come here, the queen comes there. We actually take, and then we still go up. But this time we're up in a whole rook. So I think it's knight. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Let's see, knight. Huh. I don't see anything. I don't see anything else. I believe that's the move here. And then, yeah, boom, kaboom. If you see something like that, go, go, go. Power up, power up. 324 points. Woohoo! Wow, we're going all in on this one. Powerhouse attack. Take a careful look at the board. Do you see a way to win my bishop? Do you see a way to win the bishop? You do? How do you win that bishop? Let's see if you can tell and do it. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to give you, when it hits 6:20, I'll give it to you right now. Let's give you 5 seconds. If you say takes, and then check, the king moves, and we win that, you are exactly right. That's the move sequence that wins on the spot. Congratulations. Whoa. 331 points. Boom. That's a lot. Wow. You don't get to see that every chess move day. Let's see here. If we take here, he takes. We check, queen takes, and then rook takes, mate. So if here, he comes in front, and then we play rook e7 here, and then the rook tries to take. Of course, we have a back rank mate there. So, and maybe there's actually something better. There might be pawn take. We'll see if. Let's try to see if pawn takes c2. That also threatens if the king comes. Okay, here. If the pushes, then we check. Rook check. Queen check. Actually, let me try that again. Here, pawn. Here, check. Then what we do is let me see. I'm just trying to see. Okay, trying to work through this in my head sometimes. Okay, this pawn ends up there. This rook ends up here. That rook trades off for that rook. And then what we do is we bring this rook down, and then the queen has to take. And if the queen doesn't take, then we actually queen this pawn, and we're winning anyways. Yeah, I believe this is the move here. And then now we're checking. And then we win the rook here. And we... Oh. Ooh, this is an interesting continuation. If we play over here, he takes, we actually have check. And then when he comes back up, we queen and we win the queen. Yeah, I think this is the move here. And then we queen, and then we win the queen. Yep. Bam, bam, bam. Kazam, as we like to say. Let me see, that's a check. So we have to figure which spot do we want to go to for the king. Because we're already threatening checkmate here. And so if we can safety our king, we win. I don't know if we come here, the queen has check. But we do have an interesting continuation of king g3 at that point. And if rook comes to c3, we have then f3 here, and if rook takes, queen takes, queen takes, king, not king there, but king takes over here. So the first move would be king here, queen there, king here, rook here, pawn. This pawn comes up here. Rook takes pawn. Rook takes pawn. Queen takes pawn. Queen take, or not queen there, but queen takes here, and then the king takes. We will give it a go. See if that's right. Kabam! Kazam, as we like to say. Zap, zap, zap. Let me see. One idea is better than the rest. Do you see the only way forward? I'm thinking rook takes, pawn push, queen takes, rook slides over, knight checks. Knight covers. I think we win a whole knight, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I'm just trying to see. Takes. If he takes, then we have queen takes. So he's not going to do that. Takes. Rook slides over. Yeah, I like this move here. This move is important. You can't play this move because of the pawn, and then he actually will get a queen. You'll have to sacrifice your queen. This is the only move that works. Oh, snap. That's right. If the knight takes here, then the pawn pushes. We can come up, but then pawn takes, knight, rook takes, and we haven't won anything. It's actually king takes. I was a little too hasty, and then when rook comes over, king up. That's okay. We'll take a quick little war game break of 5 minutes, and then we'll get back into it because we have to refocus our mind. We'll do 3 minutes here. Perfect. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. Beautiful. Let's see if we can take this guy out. We have two. Every time we sometimes defeat these guys, when they go in here, they all actually come in and help out. Let's do it. Bam, bam. Let's see if there are some guys. 16,000 wounded. Whew. That's a lot of troops. Lots and lots. Got to build up a lot of our patrol. We'll hit them with our... We'll search the land here. And then what we'll do is we'll have these guys search as well. You never know what you'll find. You might find a lot. You might find nothing, but you never know. And so we'll have these guys search. Excellent. Okay. Let's defeat these guys and then go back and rebuild up our military again. Oh, he hit us with a little bit of an attack there. We'll hit him there. Boom. I think we'll do one more of these. Yep. Let's see. Yep. Get us. There's some money. Money. There we go. Subdue. Yep. We defeated them. Gold. Yep. We're doing a lot of making sure our place is safe. Let's try this. We'll give it a shot. Yeah, he helped out there. Let's see. We'll try it again. It helps build our economy. Let's see how many more we got. Oh wow, 13,000. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we have 20,000 more than we can actually do. So let's see what we got here. Let's have these guys search again. I don't like having that little of money on hand, so we'll do a quick one more search. And then we'll do a search over here. Okay. There we go. Our guys are going back into the base. Wow, everybody's declaring war on everybody. There we go. We got some money. Perfect. More money. Found another scroll. Great. Banish him. Hey. We'll give him a little gold. Gold's always helps. How about some more gold? I don't want to risk it. Well, we'll give it a shot. Wow, he actually did it. Good, great job. He got us 200 gold on that one. I'll give him a shot again. Wow, he did great. Let's do a march of these guys. Let's see here. We'll get a lure. We'll hit him. this guy also. Then we'll save here. Now we have enough money, but we gotta get back to our studies. Alright. Perfect. Okay. So we have to rebuild our level again. It's okay. Hey, you know what? That's the one thing about learning and improving. Find a way to win my night. Okay. Play here. Oh. There we go. So the queen comes up and pins first. Gotcha. Let's see here. I thought for sure that chainsaw mate would work. But I guess they wanted something a little more efficient. Oh no, you can win material. Let's see how we can win material. Ah, if we play it there, no, then the queen takes. That's not good. Let's see if bishop takes rook. Knight takes rook. We don't really win anything. Well, I guess no, we're equal. So that's an equal position. That's not a win fully. Huh. Maybe it is just... Ah, that is it. Yeah. You take here. You come in with check. You play... Bishop takes. Queen takes. There you go. We got it. 60. That's good. Hey, do you know what? You got to start somewhere. Just keep pushing away. Oops, I blundered. Can you find a way to win material? Of course we can. Let us do it. Let's win some material here. Okay. Queen takes. And then now we can actually bring this knight in. We win material. See, we're starting to go up the chain again on doing good on our amount. We're at 2, so we just got to keep pushing. Okay. One moment, I have to do one really quick thing. Make sure that the volume, I gotta set the volume. Thought for sure the speed, normal, tactics off. Interesting, okay. Ah, I got it. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Now we can Let's see here. Excellent. Let's restart this. Make sure everything's good. Let's just check one thing. Want to make sure everything's okay. So now we got this. My king is starting to feel some pressure. So how could we put some pressure on the old kangaroo? If you say that we can actually do this move here potentially, I think we're almost there because it doesn't matter what he does. He might be able to throw that in. But so you got to always take that into consideration and see what's going on. You never know. Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure it all was good, and it is. Great, great. Okay. Let's see here. And we win a rook. There we go. We're doing it. We're in 3 out of 3. Let's keep pushing hard. Striving for number 1. You have a chance to beat me. Can you find the checkmate? I'll let you take a second, and then we're going to do some of our good thinking ideas. Where this is called discipline and order. Basically, how we think, how we need to be, how we need to act inside of chess. Let all things be done in basically a good role. Yeah, that's perfect. Just wanted to check one thing out. All right. Let all things be done decentrally in order. Basically, making sure that everything is how it should be. And we even do one more. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. We'll do the first one. Chess thrives on proper order, position, structure, and harmony. I love that. Without well control, a chess player's defense collapses. I just love that, love that, love that. There you go. Okay. So what do you think the move is since you had a little bit of time here to think about it? Because you have a chance to beat me. Can you find the checkmate idea? Can you find the checkmate idea? This might be a tiny tricky here, but we'll see if you can actually spot it. I know what you were first thinking. You probably were thinking something like this, right? Or you were maybe thinking something like bishop takes or rook takes, right? But you got to remember, you're in a really bad position. If you waste one move, you're the one that's going to end up with a checkmate, and you're going to be the one that's sad because you could have actually gone the distance. So you have to always think to yourself, what is the best continuation? Can you find the checkmate? There's this type of a mate here. This check, 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 or check. So there's actually one, two, three, four, five different checks. Which one lands checkmate? If you said the bishop, you are exactly right. Congratulations, you did wonderful there, my friends. Great job. Great, great, great. Okay, you have checkmate, having a checkmating idea. Can you find it? Can we find our checkmating idea? Do you have an idea that could lead to checkmate? Let us see. Do you see an idea? Do you, do you, do you? You do? What is it? What's the idea? Is it knight takes here? But nah, that doesn't work because of here, right? And you're thinking, wait a second, what if I play right here, right? No, 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 no. That's a good move, but remember, it's not the one that has checkmate. Then you're thinking, but what if I play there? And then I play something maybe cool with this cool sacrifice thing here. But if you think about it, do the reverse of it. Think about what would be a good checkmate idea. If you spotted this, great, great job. I think it might be, I'm thinking knight. I'm trying to see, I might actually be wrong on that. I'm trying to, let's see here. Knight there, rook could take with check. So now you have to consider this check. King comes up. There's a check here. Bishop takes. Actually, wait a second. I believe this actually is checkmate. Yeah, this is actually checkmate. Oh, right there. Isn't that wow? See, the one thing is if we had played this first, then taking here, knight takes, then queen takes, we're actually down material and we could actually be getting ourselves checkmated. So congratulations if you spotted that. Wonderful, wonderful. Now we're at 100. Oh yeah, we're getting into the 100 now. This is where we take it to the next limit. So what we're going to be looking at right here. Uh-oh. Oh no. My king is in trouble. So let's see how we can take advantage of this. I was thinking something like rook takes g7 here. Then if king, rook takes g7. Then if king takes g7, we have queen check. And then it forces our opponent to actually play this, and then we mate. Yeah, this is the move here. Oh wow. That is an interesting continuation for sure. Pretty tricky. He doesn't actually have to take. Wow, that's kind of, that threw a little kink in the old workaroo. Do we have enough to guard for a check? Trying to think. Hmm. Wowzers. Well, this is actually pretty crazy of a position. Maybe we just completely play queen takes. And then if queen check here, we come up here. I actually can't play there because of this queen here. So if we take here, he might play check here, there, check, king over, check, there. I'm gonna go with it. I'm thinking, oh, it's this. Wonder why. Oh, I think I see why here, not here, because of this check. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see here. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win my knight. So we need to find a way to win his knight. There we go. And then we win. You have to be able to spot all that. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win my knight. And of course you see the sacrifice. Then you play here and there. And if he pushes, you just move your king over and your operation's safe. So our king's in check. So we have to figure out how to avoid that. How to play it without losing. I'm seeing. Let's intercept. If he checks, comes there. It might play check. And I think that's mate. You're in a good position. So here, there, and if you play queen intercepts, rook takes, queen takes, you're still up a whole rook. And then we could play there. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. Checkmate is waiting if you play carefully. So, can you play carefully enough to checkmate your opponent? Let's see if you could do that. Here we go. We take here. Oh. Oh, that's where the mate. Okay. Kaboom. Find a way to win the rook. And this is a pretty straightforward one. There we go. And we win another rook. You have a checkmate in idea. Can you find it? I'm thinking it might have to do with this check here. Check here, here, and there. I believe that's the... There we go. We're on a roll. On a roll. Let's see here. So looks like my guard's down. Looks like I let my guard down. I'm done for if you find the right way to attack my king. I'm thinking about bishop here. Knight intercepts. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Check. King moves. And then maybe... Ah, the queen takes, covers that queen. Queen is square. There we go. Your pieces are well coordinated. Can you find a way to attack my king? So let's see. Can we find a way to attack the king here? I was thinking about potentially playing queen over, threatening check. So when he goes up, he might actually play. If we play queen here, he might play queen there. But then we have a rook move, and we're devastating our opponent. Yeah, I like this idea here. And then we play there, and we win. I'll give you a second to think about this position. I'll be right back. let you think. Okay, can you find a way to win my rook? So we're black here. Can you find a way to win the rook? So you already looked. That's a perfect idea. If you're saying here, you're exactly right. And then you win. And you come back here and you stop it. One moment. We will take 3 minutes. There we go. Perfect. We have to build up our pool for recruiting. All right. The battle attack. Wow, that was a nice attack there. Beautiful. Trying to get more. Let's see what we do with a bad strategy. We'll finish this battle here. Excellent. Send reinforcements. There we go. battle. We'll save here. And then go right back into it. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, dokie. Alright. Now calculate a way to win material. So we're trying to figure out how to win material here. Excellent. We're pinned, so if we have to move our king somewhere. We don't want to play here or here because of queen checking there. And then there might be a lot of pain. But if we come here, I don't see any more checks. Nope. That's it right there. Oh, here we go. That wins. Perfect. 107 points. Excellent. Okay. Oh no, you can win material from me. Let's see how we can win material. Let's take a rook takes, but knight takes. And then knight takes. Actually, rook takes. Pawn push. Check. King takes, and then knight takes. See, it might actually take here and then push, creating a fork. But then we can actually take with the queen, pinning the knight. Yeah, this has to be the move here. Let me see, because we can't take with the queen because of this actually fork after this fork here. Actually, after taking this fork, after taking here. Actually, that'd be mate, wouldn't it? So I'm trying to win material. Yeah, I like this move here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Sometimes it takes a second for you to actually figure out the move order sequence. Let's see, check, 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 there. Huh. Or maybe check. King over here. Check, king in. Then we do the, it's like a smother mate, but I call it the royal guard mate because these are like your royal guard and the kings here. There's other names for it, but I call it the royal guard mate. This is the move here. Yeah, we get to do the royal guard mate because these are his ultra guards set for the queen, and they're blocking him and they're saying, "You're safe. Don't worry. Just stay right here, right here." And in reality, if they just give him a little space, he can get away. But they didn't, so we get a checkmate. Yeah, this is so much fun. We're just going like boom, baby. This is great. We're getting up there. We're getting up to the good parts again where we're in the hundreds, so that's good. So we need to get a little higher than the hundreds. Okay, can you find a way to win a bishop? I think we can actually. Thinking that queen checks actually does win a piece because when the king moves, the bishop actually slides in, attacking the rook. And if the rook came to attack, we just retreat the bishop back. And then we'll eventually retreat our queen back and we'll be up a whole piece. So this check actually does a double attack here. There's only one spot that the queen could be safe, and then what we do is we retreat our bishop back, and that's the square right there. Good job, team. We're doing it. We're almost 10 again. Great. Great, great, great. Okay. You have a chance to beat me. Can you find checkmate? Sometimes you have these. It's too bad this wasn't there. There would be like a bishop slicing here if this pawn wasn't here. You'd have a slice and dice and extra spice attack. Yeah, you have to get one of those over there. Okay, so if we check here, king's got two squares to go to. Either one, I'm thinking the best one if we check here would actually be there. Because then check, and when the knight intercepts, then you have bishop. Yeah, that's it. Let's check here. And even if bishop intercepts, I think probably what would you have to consider what would be the blessing of this move here. And see this, if one of these guys do it, it's mate because of the bishop. So now we have to figure out what if the queen intercepts. What happens then? Because if we try the old bishop check, then the king just flees. Oh boy. So we might actually have to play something entirely different, which is probably queen f5. And when the king goes to any of these two squares, we nab him with mate. Yeah, this is it. The other way doesn't work because he can actually intercept, and then when we play check, the king moves and we're just down material. And we don't want to be down material. We want to be winning material. That's the name of the game. The idea is to guide your pawn to the back rank. How can we do that? The interesting idea, my friends, is if we do in passing, king takes here, we come over, and if he tries this move, we just escort the pawn up the board. So in passing is the first, king up front, king off to the side, up we go, up. And then now, because the king's too far away from the protection of his pawn when he pushes, we can actually, in theory, bring our queen back. And then when he tries to come here, we barricade it. When he tries here, now we just, with our king, grab this, or we grab one of these pawns, and we can actually stop the king from escorting the pawn down. It's an interesting endgame, but you could do it. You could do it. Okay. That's a blunder by me. Can you find out a way to win material? Okay. The knight's in check right now. Boy, would we love to play this, but the problem is taking here. Also, there's a pin on this knight. So you have to think. You got to double think what the idea you want to set up here, because we want to take that knight, but oh, interesting. We actually, in theory, have knight takes here. This attacks the queen and the knight. Yeah, this is the first continuation. And then the second one is, what do we win? We win that, and then we win the queen. So we actually go up a whole minor piece after all complications are done. We're up a whole minor piece. And we're doing stellar. We just got to keep pushing. Find a way to promote. So what we're probably going to do, here is if he takes and takes, he can actually, in theory, when he comes up here, he takes. So we don't have the ability to, but if he comes here and takes, we go 1, here, 2, there, 3, here, queen. Surprisingly, sometimes you have to sacrifice a pawn because then they're not in the box. How you figure the box is by you count the squares 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you go over 1, 2, 3, 4. You go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And if actually, I'm sorry, when we move, it's actually 3. There we go. And then you come over 3. And so if the king can't enter the square, then you have a pass pawn. This is a trick that if you kind of wonder if there's a pass pawn idea, if you need to take or you need to push, you can do they call it the box. And if the king's not in the box, then he can't catch it. And that's why this move is the only way to win the. Otherwise, the other one, he would have been able to get in the box. It would have been 4, and he would have been able to reach right in there. And we didn't want that, so now we're up to 156. Woohoo! Yay! All right. We're doing it. Let's see here. Find a move that builds on this position. If you have a question about any of these, put it in the chat. on YouTube so that maybe we can talk about it, the comments, and we'll see. And we'll maybe next time take one of those area that type of position. I'll see if I can input it into Lichess, and then maybe we can go over that and have some fun. So don't always remember you're more than welcome on YouTube to comment. Okay, perfect. Uh, let's see. Find the best. Okay, find the move that builds on this position. I was thinking about this check here. After the king takes, we can actually grab it with the queen. And then I don't think we have anything after that. We have to do something that builds on this position. And I was thinking because of this move here, takes, queen takes, there's actually a check there. Well, actually, no, there's no check there because of the rook. I think the bishop move actually does win material. Well, or is it just equal? Because we're down a rook anyways. No, we'd actually be up a bishop. No, we'd actually be equal. Not going back and forth. That's all funny. Um, uh, this is tricky, tricky, tricky. Is it just a plain old grab the rook and then we're up material? I'm just going to grab this rook. I don't see any other ways to win. It'd be equal. Now we're up a whole minor piece. Sometimes you have to calculate if there's no checks, no checks. You gotta look for capture. If there's no capture, see if you can get a better position that you might be able to later on, in a move sequence, overcome and win. Okay. So good so far. Let's see. You have one path forward here. Calculate carefully. I'll allow you to calculate carefully while we have one of our thought ways that my Grandmaster teacher always taught me. The way to think is there's two things. There's playing the game and the way to think. So here's another one. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. So what's this? A sound mind, calm under pressure, is a chess warrior's shield. Exactly. I love that. Those type of comments that my grandmaster teacher always told me and wrote down on here for me to go over. It's really cool. Oh, we'll see. Well, let's see. I'm gonna see. This is a really good one too. I'll do one more while you're looking. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. And what that means, that my grandmaster teacher taught me, is if your opening is weak, the whole game crumbles. Exactly what he taught. So you can take those and apply them, and you're gonna get to learn a whole bunch. Okay, Let's see what we got here. There's only one path forward, and we have to calculate it all the way through. So let's see here. We have a knight, a bishop, and a queen ready to pounce. There's two ideas of checks. There's queen c3, which actually loses to bishop takes c3. So that one's thrown out of the equation. Now let's take a look at queen g4 check. Let's say he plays what? Let's say he plays b7 here. Is there anything that we can do that allows us to continue the attack forward? I don't think so. That's why I don't think this check actually works. So now we need to look at something even better. What's even better? If there's no captures, which we see that there's no captures, this capture is silly. This check is silly because all he does is run, and there's no more checks for us because his rook guards the checking square, and there's just nothing. So now we have to reconsider another thing. Can we use a tactic of our own and then make a combination out of it? Yeah, we can play rook b1 here. This actually pins, and whatever the queen does, it doesn't matter what the queen does or where the queen goes, because this knight is going to fall. And so let's use that pin and actually win. There we go. And now we win a whole minor piece. Sometimes it's not always about the check. Work through the check and make sure that when you're seeing the whole board that you're not just check happy, because if you would have checked there, you would have helped your king, the king get away. You also would have lost out on a pin tactic of actually being up a minor piece. Sometimes that's the best in the situation. Don't be, upset about that. And that's why we got to think of another good way of thinking. Let me see here. Here we go. Therefore, whosoever heareth these things of mine, and doeth them, I will take taken him unto a wise man, which build his house upon a rock. And what does that mean that my grandmaster teacher wrote down from that? Is solid foundations lead to strong positions on the board. And so that's why it says that you need to build your house upon a rock, so that when you go for an attack like we did, we set up for a pin and we won a piece. So that's a really good one. I like those type of ones that help reinforce the way you're thinking. Okay. Oops, that's a blunder by me. Can you find a way? Can you find out how to win material? So he did a blunder. Let's see if we can find a way to win material. This is great, great, great. So you see how we have a pin here, right? We have a pin. So let's see if there is any way we can win material. Well, first of all, I was thinking about an interesting continuation. I was thinking about rook takes, which is a devastating continuation, which is what I believe is the best. Because of one thing, what happens is, I know you saw this. If pawn takes, the queen could take because of this pin, right? And now it's an unstoppable checkmate. Doesn't matter where the king goes. If the king goes here or the rook moves, we just nab that with mate. So congratulations if you see that. Or I just saw that, I mean. Okay. Try to find a path to promotion. How do we promote our pawn? It's kind of it's a trick. It's kind of like something. Yeah, I'll give you a hint. You have to sacrifice something. So I'll give you a hint on that one, and we'll see if you can take that hint if you're watching on Twitch later on and you're trying to solve this puzzle. Think of a sacrifice, or if you're on YouTube and you're trying to solve this, think of a sacrifice and put in the comments what you're thinking, and we'll go over it and I'll type it in and talk to you about it. Remember, there's no wrong answer, there's only learning. The wrong thing is not asking the correct question. What is that question? What if this? And then guess what? We can go over it together and then we can get better. Okay, let's see. I know you spotted this. Kaboom, check. And now we have to draw the rook away. And so we do that. And there's your queen. If you saw that, wonderful job. If you didn't, put that in your notes. Go over why you didn't see it. Think about why you didn't see it. And next time, say, I won't miss that this next time. And even if you do, ask yourself why you didn't miss it. Did you not trust yourself? Did you not trust your studying? Always ask yourself why. And then you can fill in what it is and you can get it even better. Okay, let's do another one of those mind improvements. I like those. Okay. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord the counsel of the Lord shall stand. And this, what it means that my grandmaster teacher taught me in chess is, in chess, many lines are possible, but wisdom makes the right path to endure. Basically, when what my grandmaster teacher was telling me is, when you think of the correct path and you follow it and you don't get distracted, and rather than do check check check, you look beyond the position, that will then start helping you become a better and better player. You won't just be a check 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 player. That's exactly what it meant. Great job for listening, thinking that, and putting it into your chess mind. Great work. Excuse me. Okay, I gotta get a drink of water here. Okie dokie. You're close to checkmate. One second, excuse me. There we go. Didn't want to cough in your ear. Okay, you're close to checkmate. So what would you do here? Much better. Water's good. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any ideas? I have one. I have a couple ideas. I was thinking about this check here. I was thinking about this knight check. I was considering even this rook takes for the idea with a potential check there to maybe take and maybe win material with bishop check. You have to always think of those moves. So like if bishop checks, rook checks, rook checks, checks, check, and then check. Are we just up a piece? Are we up nothing? So let's see. This rook would be pulled off. Excuse me. This bishop would, this, and what would be left are these two pieces here. The queen on c4. Okay. And the queen on h5. So is that check more beneficial to us? We have to ask ourselves that. Or should we start with something like a knight? A knight takes. You know, we actually might actually be up, if I'm not mistaken. I think we might even be up a knight in this position if we were able to trade everything off. So maybe the bishop move does, but let's just check the knight move first. Knight checks, pawn takes, rook takes, nothing. Pawn push, then rook would take, so nothing. So now you have to consider, is that sacrifice good? Is there a rook takes pawn? You have to ask that now. And if pawn takes, knight takes, you actually, I think you lose. I think it might be equal position here at that point, because then you take here, and then rook takes, and you have this left over these pieces, and so it's equal. But if we play bishop check here, takes, 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 queen takes, king moves, queen takes, queen takes, king takes, we're left with this knight. So I'm thinking that queen, bishop f3 is probably the best. Then rook takes. Uh-oh. What did we miss? Was it? Huh. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting continuation. Didn't spot that rook idea. But it's the most forcing if you think about it. Because then here, this pawn. Nice. You're not always going to be able to see that, the most active. So let's do one more thought one, and then we'll get right back into it. Okay. This is on the middle game and the conflict and tactics. This is always fun. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. So let's see what my grandmaster teacher wrote here. Don't forget pride in the middle game. Wait for the true results. So what he's saying is, don't think that you're going to just pound your opponent in the middle game. Sometimes you have to take it and go into the end game and win. Always keep that in your forefront, that you don't have a proud spirit. You have a better spirit, which is a smart spirit of waiting till you get the win. Don't think that even though if you're up a piece that you have it won. You can actually blow the position, and then it would be really sad for you to actually have to play that again. You'd be like, I can't believe I didn't see that. And it happens to us all, but you have to always remember to endure to the end and be victorious. Okay, here. You're in a critical position. Find a way to win material here. Okay. I was thinking about checking here. Let's see. I checking here. Then king comes forward. Check. King comes. Oops. King comes forward. I don't know if there's anything after that. Maybe there's a critical position. Critical position. Find a way to win material. Sometimes it's just winning material. So maybe knight checking here. King comes up. Check. Uh, taking. King takes. Let's try to see if there is anything we could do. She takes here, here, pawn takes there. There's nothing for a counter strike there. Knight here, king there. Knight takes, king takes. Um, maybe just a straight up check. King here. I think this actually is. I think this has to be the correct move. I know why it's the correct move here, and then you actually fork this king and rook. Wow, that for being the one move, that was a pretty intense long sequence. I'll give you a second to look at this while we do one more thought, and then we'll really focus on this. Let me see. Be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours but God's. So what that means is even when surrounded by enemy pieces, hold steady. And that I've actually had to endure a game like that where I was up a rook and I just had to hold steady to defend, and I was able to use that rook to trade back a piece, and then I was able to win in an endgame. I think I was up 2 pawns after that. It was a pretty cool endgame. It was actually out of a French defense, surprisingly. And that's the cool ones when you get to sack like a rook on that. It's so sweet. And so now you're thinking to yourself, okay, we'll calculate the only path forward. So now you've had time to calculate the only path forward. And so if you have an idea, you can always put it in the comments or on the YouTube after the stream, and we'll all learn from it. Okay, knight takes knight, rook takes, queen takes. Oops, knight takes knight, rook takes, queen takes, queen takes, pawn takes, and now our knight's protected. Okay, is there any other sequential order that they could do? There's bishop takes. Interesting. Let's try that. Knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes. Interesting. Just trying to see after taking. Excuse me. Oh, wait a second. I think we do win a piece. Here, here. Queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, and I think we go up a piece. Yeah, this is. Oh, interesting. Okay. We still have this idea of taking, and then queen takes. I mean, rook takes queen, and now you're up a minor piece. Congratulations if you spotted that. Those are sometimes difficult to see. If you play this right, you can promote your pawn. So we have to play this exactly correct. We play up here, takes, 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 push, push, takes, king out of the way, 1, 1, 1, oops, 1, not up there, but 1, 1, 1, 1, queens, and queens. It comes here. Yep, congratulations, we're doing good. So far, so good. Okay, dokie. Calculate and win my bishop. This looks pretty interesting because the first thing that kind of came to my mind was d5, pawn takes d5, pawn takes d5, bishop takes d5. Do we have anything there? I don't think so. But you have to always consider because just in case we might actually have something there. There might, but wow, this is a tricky one. Here, there, there. Bishop takes. Ooh, interesting. This jack actually is an interesting position. Because here, 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 here. Oh, we got to be careful. We actually, maybe does this win right away? Do we see? You have to ask yourself, do you play it right away? And I think we actually do. But actually, wait a second. I have to rethink that because then the bishop intercepts here, and then we don't have this move sequence. I think this move sequence is played first. Here, 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 here. Queen check, bishop intercepts, or knight intercepts. It doesn't matter. And then we grab that. Yeah, this is the move order we have to do first. I'll show you. I'll show you why. We'll go over it really quick so that you can see it. See this idea of the blocking. We'll go. Actually, I'll go right here. That blocking is this blocking. Just remember this blocking here, and we'll start at the very beginning, and I'll walk you through it. Okay, the reason this does not work is the bishop blocks, and if we try bishop here, we actually can play knight, basically knight into c3, and then when we try our idea of taking, the knight can actually take back and rather than the bishop, and we're in a world of hurt. So that's why the first move you have to do is do a forcing line of d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, bishop takes d5, and then queen a5 check. When the intercept happens, there's not enough time for this knight to get to c3, so you nab the bishop. You nab the bishop just in time before knight to c3. Queen takes, and with knight c3, here we just retreat our bishop back. We've won a whole piece. Congratulations if you worked through that and followed along. Sometimes you're probably wondering why we just don't go numbers, numbers, because we're learning as we go, so that when we see a puzzle like this again, a similar type of setup, we'll be able to figure out why. And you'll get stronger and stronger where you can see deeper and deeper combinations. So, perfect job for spotting that though. Okay, if you play this right, you can promote your pawn. So let's see if we can play this right. First of all, let's see if we take here. Takes. And then if pawn push, then we go pawn up, king there, pawn up, king here, pawn up, there, check, and we stop it just in the nick of time with this searching for Bobby Fischer kind of idea. So let's first do this. Let's go up the board we go. One. Oh. No? Okay, is it that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think if we had not done that, we played here, 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 and then queens, they'd stop us just in time. Okay. Perfect. Okay, we got to remember that one. Remember that one. Queen takes, and then queening, and we stop it. Okay. Yeah, those are kind of tricky endgames. We'll just take a 3 minute quick war game thing, and then we'll get back. Alright, okay, we're trying to stop this from coming. Even if it's just a little attack like that. Let's do it. Do a farming. Beautiful. Nice. Surprisingly, Cow's hanging in there. He's a one-man band. Got there just in time. Irritated sometimes when those guys slip through. There we go. Now we gotta rebuild our farm. But we'll get it. We'll send these military guys out. Farming. And then we're done after this one. Perfect. save. Right, there we go. Okay, dokie. Bishop. Sorry, calculating win is bishop. Okay. Another bishop win. Let's see here. I think this is what wins. Well, he's got check there. Tricky for sure. So after here, after the check, so we come up. The bishop might even come. The queen might even come there. Okay. Boy, this is tricky. Might be knight here. With maybe the idea of coming in. Sometimes it's these funny Ashley moves of queen here because of potentially after taking. Rook takes. Queen takes. And then queen takes here. Like if queen there, bishop takes, and there. Maybe retreat it back. You win a rook. There's just plain old, but see that I don't know if that actually works though because of this. So that's that. Some of these are tough, even if they are, the first ones in the bunch. Yeah, even this move's not exactly correct because you could pick off that knight. See, the interesting thing, I know we're thinking about this move here, but then there's a check after the king comes up. Then there's queen there, and don't see anything. What am I missing here? Maybe here, if bishop takes there, we jump in with check. It comes up. Nothing again. Calculate to win my bishop. So there's something that wins his bishop. Oh, that is how we win it. I think it's, see here, takes, knight check, king comes up, then we take. So here, bishop takes, check, king comes over, takes, king takes. Wow, so that's the move sequence. Didn't take it far enough. Okay. So we had a right idea there. We'll do another two more. Win material to win this puzzle. So we have to win material. Let's see. I think it might just be this move here. Oh, it's not that. Is it this move? Wow. Oh, I see why this one doesn't work, because then the knight can take. I thought just the pawn takes and then the queen would take, but the knight actually takes. Okay. Okay, let's do two till we get them right. Two in a row. This is the most important moment in the game. Find a way to checkmate me. I believe it's this sacrifice here. There we go. And then this actually sets up for the square mate, like I like to call it. One more. Make the move that works towards the pawn promotion. I believe it's this move here. He stops it. Surprisingly, there's no way to actually stop this back here. We'll go over it really quick, and then we'll do our last mind idea of improving, and then we'll say adieu. So taking, coming up. So if they try this here, of course, a weak queen, and that's mate. So they have to, in theory, they have to actually open this up, so that the bishop could actually come here, and that's why he takes. He's actually forcing my king to take and then play bishop here, even though he loses a bishop. He is going to stop the pawn, but remember, we'll be up a whole rook and a pawn, so that'll be that'll be four pawns. Okay, let's do our last one, and then I'll say adieu. Okay, let's see where it is. This is another one. I love this one. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Yeah, that's interesting, and this is what was written there by my teacher. Middle game collapse shows lack of courage, and staying in the fray is a sign of vigilance, which means you can push towards it. It's another word for strength, understanding, determination, going the distance, as they say. So you have to, in the middle game, not let your middle game collapse, even if you start looking like your opponent's squeezing or something. Don't let your position collapse just because of fear. Okay, now we're gonna say adieu. I wanted to thank you all for logging on, participating, watching this on recording and subbing and all the fun stuff, and the wargaming stuff. All that is fun. and take the mind verses or the ideas that we put and apply them to your chess. And so, like what Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless. And remember the Team Chess Cruncher motto of hanging up your coats, hanging up your hats, sitting down and studying when most won't. Team Chess Cruncher does, and that makes all the difference. Be blessed, my friends, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Bye bye. Go!